Coach, we'll start with an opening statement, and then we will open up for questions.
Thank you guys for being here. I want to congratulate Washington. I thought they were phenomenal today. They seemed to just be quicker to everything, defensively, offensively. They really came in prepared and ready to win. And I had texted Tina, their coach, a couple weeks ago, because they had lost so many close games, because I think she does a really good job. They're very young, and just said, you're doing a great job. Don't change anything. And I didn't expect her to come give it to us like that. That's not what a good friend does. But very impressed with them. They did a great job. They beat us, and we didn't play well. And it's been kind of a pattern this year where we've played really well for a few games and then we've played poorly for a game. It's what is today, March 2nd? So that's who we are, and we've got to figure out how to not do that. I felt like we missed the first couple shots, and then we kind of just got a little tight. And uncharacteristic shooting night. 18% from three, 31% from the field. We had 5 points in the second quarter. That's got to be a season low. I think that's a career low for me. But, it's a bummer to end that way on senior night, but we still have season in front of us. And I don't think any of us saw that coming. But again, I think you got to credit the other team too in terms of how they played. They were inspired, and we just played a little tight and kind of nervous, like we were almost afraid to lose. And you got to be fearless, especially in March. So we'll learn from it. But as I said to the crowd, one game doesn't define a season. We've got 21 wins. We're ranked in the top 20. We're making the NCAA tournament. There's a lot of good. Those seniors that were celebrated today have done so much for our program. So, time provides perspective, but I already kind of have perspective on what those three have done for us and what the remainder of the group is doing. They keep showing up battling. We just kind of had a bad night, shooting night. And again, give Washington a lot of credit for that.
Lynne, in a game like that, how do you kind of try to re-engage? I know there was moments and there's little things that happen, but how do you just kind of not let it snowball?
It's hard, and I told him in one time out, I can't do this for you. You guys have to play a little with just harder, more inspired, more ticked off. But it just seemed like we were out of rhythm the whole day, and I don't know why that is. And sometimes that just happens. It's a bad time to have it. That happened to us at UCLA too 2 weeks ago. So we got to quit this, start-stop thing. There's no time for it now. We're only guaranteed 2 more games, one in the Pac-12 Tournament and one in the NCAA Tournament. I still believe in this group, but when it's in the heat of the game, it's almost like you got to just make plays. As a player, you got to make plays, whether that's getting a stop, a rebound, hitting a shot. It just felt like we were out of sync.
Sitting next to you is a person that did make plays. Maty obviously had a good night. Is it difficult to kind of celebrate that while still knowing how everything else kind of turned out? Either one of you, I guess. Sorry.
Yeah, I think tonight wasn't really I guess I made plays, but it wasn't about me. I love all three of the seniors, and I think I made plays because of them. I made some bad plays, but as well as good ones. But I think down towards the end of the game, I became aggressive because I didn't want to lose for them. I think kind of what Coach said, they've done so much for the program, but for me personally, coming into this program was a little bit intimidating, and all three of them have done different things for me. So I just tried to make plays just to stay as close as we can, just to give us a shot at the end for them. And like Coach said, I don't think this one game defines anything. Obviously, I don't think Lister Day performed the way they wanted to, but I told them, I still have your back no matter what. I still believe in you guys, and there's a lot more games left. But like I said, I don't think this game is about celebrating me and, the plays I made. I think today is about them.
Obviously, you guys travel down to Las Vegas, pretty quick turnaround, tough game to kind of come off of. What's the strategy going into that game on Wednesday?
Well, I think sometimes a loss right at this point can motivate a team in a different way. Last year in this game we beat Stanford for the title, to share it with them, and that was such a high. And I think we kind of, we had our hands down walking into the tournament a little bit. And so I would anticipate this group to be motivated. So I don't think I'm going to have to do much, any tricks to try to get them going. They're competitive. That's my expectation. So I think, we got to, tomorrow we can rest and recover, and then we got to get after it Monday. And it's go time now. So it's time.
Maty, I know right now in the moment it's got to be tough, but as you guys have mentioned, it's one game. We've seen how tough this team can be. That evidence is in some of the big wins you've had, but as you kind of go into Vegas, you go into the postseason, what's got to be the mindset for this team, just knowing what you've been through this year?
I think when we compete and play together, we're unbeatable. We play hard all the time, but there's just a different level of playing hard and competing to win. And Washington, I think, made all those plays. They got all the loose balls, all the 50-50 balls. And when we get those, like against CU and all the other really good teams that we've beaten, we've gotten those plays. So going down the stretch, it doesn't matter. Everyone's playing. Like you win, you go on, you lose, you go home. So it doesn't matter anyone's record. But if we want to win and keep going, we just have to compete and play together.
Lynne, you grabbed the mic out there and you thanked the crowd for what a season. What a season, though. You guys have accomplished so much, and you guys are the team to redeem yourselves. Just take me through what a time it has been to be in the Huntsman this season and to fill those stands more than any other team could in the past, really.
Yeah, I am proud of that, and I think I'm grateful for that. And that's always been my vision since I got here, was to make this place one of the hardest places to play for other teams, and I think we've done that. And I'm grateful to the fans for getting behind them. But they were trying so hard to get us going today. But that's what a good home crowd does. And this is a hard place to win. And but it is incredibly gratifying to see the stands. And it's not just people in the seats. They're engaged. They're loud. And that's why it's disappointing to not give them a better game today. But that's all I wanted to say to them. We appreciate and what a difference it makes and how faithful they are. I hope we can continue the snowball, right? Like, we're not going to play at home again, but we'll be back next year and we'll be good. And, I think for us to maintain being at the top, we got to maintain that home crowd atmosphere. So I'm very grateful for it. And it's fun to be a part of.
And you briefly alluded to this, but how much faith do you still have in this basketball team?
Oh, a ton. That's why I think it's frustrating and annoying and all the superlatives for that, because we have so much potential. But like to Maty's point, Alyssa was 1 for 9. When was she ever 1 for 9, right? Deja 1 for 4. We just weren't firing on all cylinders, and but that they've never played like that. I don't anticipate, over the course of 30 games, we'll be all right. And I'm excited to get to the postseason. This Pac-12 is a gauntlet, and it is hard. And we've won 21 games. Like, it's a great basketball season. I'm proud of them. But we got to regroup and play with a little piss and vinegar, as I shouldn't say.
Works for me.
To get our heads right, because I believe what Maty said, if we're playing as hard as we can and as connected as we can beat anybody we face. But we've also proven if we don't, we're very beatable. So it's March, and it's go time.
Perfect. That was a good way to end it.
I know. I have goosebumps over
I
here.
know, I was like, mic drop.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.